o'clock, number one, review and approve the minutes of October 2025.
Make a motion to review and approve the minutes of October 28th, 2025. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved. 4-0. Approve warrants number 113 through 117 and financial reports for the month of October.
Make a motion to approve the warrants from 113 through 117 and financial report for October.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Discussion?
Yes. The warrants are as follows. 113 was a payroll warrant for $9,544.84. Warrant 114 was an accounts payable warrant for $3,656.50. Warrant 115 is a payroll warrant for $18,412.40. You'll see that in front of you. That does include selectmen's pay and planning board pay is included in that. I did suggest to the fire chief that maybe on the next payroll warrant that we pay out the stipends for the fire department, just a little earlier. Warrant 116 is an accounts payable warrant. It's the sewer warrant in front of you tonight for $1,154.24. And warrant 117 is an AP warrant for $256,918.70. I would like to note that after you sign the warrant, I've instructed the bookkeeper to scan it, send it to the Maddie who does the website, and I've asked Maddie to create under town departments a treasurer department where I'll start posting the warrants, and that way anyone from the public, if they are interested in seeing that warrant detail, maybe comments can be directed with a link to the website and exactly where they'll be, so that they can view the warrant detail and ask questions if they don't understand something that we paid on a warrant. So that will be coming, and I figured I'd wait until the day after the meeting, because obviously what you're seeing and what the public is seeing isn't it's unsigned. It hadn't been approved until you made the motion. So I'll start incorporating that into the in the website. And then just to kind of take a quick look at the three major departments. Administration is looking pretty good. My legal, unfortunately, with this warrant, we paid that the vials matter from 2024, and then we also paid the final bill on the Eagle Creek Hydro contract. So out of my $25,000 legal budget, I spent $28,000, so I'm about $3,600 overspent there. But all my other lines look really good. Well, actually, we're over on our audit, but I think what happened is in making a prepayment towards next year's audit, it should have been charged to the GL as a prepaid expense because it doesn't belong in this year's financials. So I need to just have that taken out. I don't know the percent unspent, but I am sure it's like 35 to 40% unspent currently. So I feel really comfortable with the admin budget, even with the overages. I think some of my other line items can absorb that, in addition to the payroll where we have another office help yet. With the highway department, I took a look at that real quick. And even with highway, their numbers all look good. Payroll is right on target. I don't, see any major concerns. Highway is, they're probably 25% unspent, I'm guessing. So just under 200,000 available for them. And then with the fire department, fire department, and this is through the end of October, but they're in very good shape too. As of the end of October, they had just under 200,000. Whoops, no, never mind. Let me get back to fire itself. Fire still has about $135,000 left approximately as of the end of October. And the reports you have don't include the warrants that you paid out. So all in all, spending is pretty good. As we get closer to the end of the year, whether you want to see balances lapse to surplus and maybe work on building our fund balance. Part of the policy that I was mentioning in the workshop for our fund balance is most auditors recommend that we carry 3 months of operating costs for fund balance, and I'd like to work up to that. And then I had, I did not print for you, but I can. I printed a revenue report. I didn't ask him to print this, but I just wanted to gauge the excise from motor vehicles. Now that we're getting close to the end of the year, and that does offset highways budget with excise taxes. I had budgeted 580,000 and we've collected 572, so we're only 7,800 from making our goal, and we've got 2 months left. So I think we're right on track with that. The other big money, revenue sharing, I budgeted 480,000 and we've gotten 416. So I think, we'll be really close there. Betty, I haven't gotten the Betty, I budgeted a lot. We've only got $36 for Betty. Veterans exemption has come in, and that exceeded what I budgeted. And then tree growth money has come in, and that was a nice surprise. I budgeted 45 for tree growth revenue, and we received 61,000. And veterans, I budgeted 1,500, and we received 3,600. And that was really all I had to report on the financials.
Can we get a percentage of unexpended balances, the column?
You start on
We
that.
had talked about last month.
Yep. I'll run that report and email it to the board so you all have
Can you move right on to these reports in the future?
Yeah.
it. Yes.
We don't have to run a special one as far as I'm concerned,
Okay.
just moving forward.
Mhm.
I can see it and I can figure it, but
Mhm. It's nice to see.
I don't have to do it.
Yep. I'll make a note to remind him to run that report for you guys, because she prints these reports for you. And I'll just ask her to run the summary report that has the percentages for the expenses, so that you can see what percent spent. And I'll do that for the end of November, so our first meeting in December, I'll have that report for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
The other thing is, and I don't know whether to bring it up here now or the chief's report. Do we have any large expenditures coming in for fire?
Just this week alone, for the bills I've had come in, is around $7,100. It doesn't reflect on that.
What's, I know you can't predict salaries, wages, but
The only
Predict
other,
it for me.
yeah, the other big expense we're probably gonna have coming in is, they're gonna come in and do, pump testing on all our trucks.
Okay.
They're gonna try to shoot for that this weekend, if not on a later date. The other thing is Engine 84 is gonna go into the garage and have an air tank replaced, if not
Correct.
3 air tanks, because they're all pretty rusted, pretty bad, so.
And what I'm getting at is that we had discussed, because fire is doing quite well, discussed using some of the balance for the generator for North Anson. So I just
Yeah.
want to keep that in the forefront because we need to do that before the end of the year if we're going to do it. At least,
I talked to Lance Arsenal today too. He's gonna redo me a quote for the generator he did back in May of this year. Cause I was looking at it because it includes like the transfer switch, which I'm pretty sure, 99.9% sure, that the transfer switch is already into the fire station that was, when it was built, so.
and you have done something with grants for that?
I have not. The November 7th was the deadline for the Somerset County matching grant, and at that point, all I had was a request from Artie for removal of railroad ties, which is about a $30,000 project, and if we could get 15 of that, if it's approved. But Fire did not submit an application to try to get 15,000 for their project.
So if finance does allow it and or approves it, as long as we make the expenditure or the approval before the end of the year?
Right,
It goes in
we
the
can
budget?
carry forward funds for a specific purpose, and especially if you have a contract to install a generator, we could allocate those funds and carry them forward for that specific purpose. We could encumber it.
Okay, I just don't want to lose the opportunity. I mean, if the money's there, if you don't need it for other things,
Right, yeah.
let's not lose it all.
And also with that grant, Nancy, I was under the impression too, if the town already gets awarded, an entity gets awarded that amount of money, I was under the impression that 2 departments couldn't get it in the same town, so.
They may not be able to get it. I did ask it, the county commissioner, if we could submit more than one, and he indicated we could, but just to understand that they may not fund more than one.
Yeah.
There are situations where the town might have applied, and then, for example, maybe the Anson Historical Society or, the windmill or something, they might have wanted to apply for their own grant, and I've seen the county support an association and the town too, but not the same, probably tax ID,
Yeah.
which would be my guess on that. And I still haven't seen any other generator grant opportunities out there.
I kind of harassed Mike Smith about that quite a bit and Sarah Bickford, but
There's nothing.
yeah.
No. And even with FEMA, I don't think they're opening up that 406 grant process, because I don't think they've reviewed all the applications from earlier in the year or last year.
Well, the government shutdown, it probably would never occur anyway until
No, probably
2-3 years down the line, so.
Yeah. It would be nice though if all the necessary invoices come in the fire department, and even if there is money for a generator, maybe anything else to go back into fund balance to try to cover the overages from last year. That would be a goodwill gesture to help lower taxes to the public, so that's another consideration too.
Winter is here, and its prediction is going to be a rough one, so.
Yeah, it would be nice to have, yeah, and, and if we've already approved that budget, so if there's money left over at the end of the year for a generator, this would be the time to do it.
We don't know what you've got going on yet.
No better by the end of this month, beginning of next month, so.
By the next meeting.
Yeah, well, if they get if I harp on them, and if they do the pump testing this coming weekend, or the following weekend, whatever Saturday he wants to do it, I have to harp on them pretty hard to get the invoices out, because I've run into issues before, I didn't get the invoices until January something, so I have to be right on the phone with them I need the invoices ASAP before the end of the year, so.
And the tank inspection is when?
The pump testing,
When you said it was.
the air tank,
Okay.
the 84 is supposed to go to Derek Kenny's Monday for him to look at it and see how bad that one is and see
You'll have
how.
an estimate by then.
All right,
We can
we'll
talk
go.
about this
Yeah.
before. Okay. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So we have a motion, and we have a second. Discussion, all in favor of accepting? All opposed? So moved, 4-0. Discussion with Paul Frederick, candidate for District 2 County Commission.
I think Paul is here tonight. There you are. And we also have Don Skillings here too. He saw Paul on the agenda and called and asked if he could also speak to you folks. So before we hear from them, you can stay standing. We did receive the public notice from Somerset County that the following individuals have expressed interest. Paul Fredericks from Starks, who's here, Daniel Frey from Smithfield, Janet White from New Portland, and Donald Skillings from Madison, who is also here. Okay.
Good, thank you very much, and again, thank you for your time. Some of you may know me, I'm Paul Frederick from down the road in Starks, and when this position became open, I raised my hand and communicated with the county administrator that I was interested in the position. And I have I think a copy of what I sent to the county administrator, Tim Curtis. And I'm going to say a few words to either repeat what's already in the letter or add additional thoughts. I've had a fair amount of experience in local and state government. I was on the Board of Selectmen in the town of Starks for 17 years. And much of that time I was on the Somerset County Budget Committee. I've spent quite a bit of time in this room as one of the directors of the AMS ambulance service and the recycling program that Starks and Anson have. I must admit that these are all new faces. I've been off the board 4 years, and I used to know everyone that was in the oppositions a few years ago, but times change and people change. I've worked in state government. I was director of the Maine Land Use Regulation Commission for a period of time in the McKernan administration. I became familiar with the unorganized parts of the state, and of course much of Somerset County is unorganized, including District 2, as we go up through Lexington and Highland and on the Waterfalls land. And that part of the county is important, although not many people live in it. I taught geography and land use planning at the University of Maine at Farmington for nearly 30 years. I continue to live on a family farm in Starks. It's been in the family since 1795, so a local fellow who knows the local terrain. My grandson and I still operate that property as a beef farm. And I'm particularly interested in serving citizens of District 2 as a county commissioner. I have some familiarity with the mechanics of county government. I was also on the county bicentennial committee in 2009. So I looked at the county historical track record, so to speak, over time. And I'm interested in maintaining as low a tax rate as possible on behalf of the county, but also recognize that the county plays some significant roles in providing services, particularly law enforcement, the jail, which is a challenge given the financial structure that we've found ourselves with as far as jail. And of course, we provide registry of deeds and other basic services for the citizen. I will say that the average citizen probably has no idea who their county commissioner is, and has very little contact with the county unless it is involved with law enforcement. But we were just saying a few minutes ago that there's some grant money from various sources that gets piped through county government, and that's one of the roles of county government, is to administer those grants in a responsible way. I'm happy to take any questions from either the board or the people in the audience, if they have any that I might address. I'm at your mercy, so to speak, and I do ask for your support in the caucus that will be held at the courthouse on Wednesday of next week. So, any questions, thoughts, boos or cheers?
It's nice to see so much interest in this position. Usually it's hard to find someone interested in being a county commissioner, so it's a welcome thing.
Yes, that's a good point. This all of a sudden turned into the most popular job in the state of Maine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. It's nice to see so many people involved in the town government. I've been on a lot of boards and you guys have a pretty good audience. I too have sent to the administrator and the county commissioners letters. There's copies of the letters that I sent for each of you. I too have served the town of Skowhegan as the chairman of the board in Skowhegan for Selectmen, and then chairman of the planning board in the town of Skowhegan, Skowhegan Economic Development Corporation, Somerset County Economic Development Corporation. I'm currently the vice president of that, which works directly with the county. And I'm also the current chairman of the Madison Planning Board. So those are a few of the litany of positions that I've held on public service. I commend you in your questions earlier about questioning budgets. For example, I've watched a few of your meetings. Your next agenda item is the EMA, and the concerns last time were, how are we going to figure out power costs? How are we going to figure out cleaning costs? How does that get divided amongst the school budget and the town budget? And I'll throw an example out there. In the last two county commissioner meetings, the UT expanded with another sheriff. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing or a bad thing. What I'm saying is the same questions aren't being asked at the county level. There was never a question of what's the current call log in the UT? Is this position needed in the UT? Do we need to do this? They took the money from a TIF account, which is where you begin some of your grant money from, and they funded another UT sheriff, which may or may not be needed. I'm not assessing that part of it. The part I'm assessing is the basic questions weren't asked at the county level by the current commissioners. I am very fearful that all of our town budgets, Madison, whether it be Madison, Skowhegan, Starks, Anson, anywhere we go, the county budget is give or take 25% of our budget. It's at $19 million plus right now for the county. That's getting a bit excessive. Where can we justify and not justify how we're going to do these expenses? These basic questions about call volume, the need for these positions. In the last county commissioner meeting, they approved 2 more police cruisers because a local dealership had bought some cruisers on a good situation. They said it would save them money. The question that was never asked was, these 2 new cruisers are pickup trucks. The county has gone to Tahoes. Why is it now we're saving $7,000 or $8,000 a cruiser But why weren't we doing that? Why did we switch to an $8,000 cruiser that was more expensive? These are all questions that just need to be asked, and maybe they can be justified. I'm not saying that it's a good or a bad vote. What I am saying is, there are relevant questions that aren't being asked at the county level that's forcing every town to have higher budgets. And we need to ask those hard questions. The answer may be, it's the right move. I'm not suggesting it wasn't. But we gotta ask the questions. They tabled a health, they did their employee health for the county last meeting. It got tabled. They had a better plan with less premium, lower deductibles for the employees. The concern is that it's a limited, it's a smaller, limited pool. It's not Blue Cross Blue Shield. So it's not received by every provider. They tabled that, but they spent the money on the cruisers and the UT out of a TIF, which will get shifted to county budgets in the years to come. This employee that they hired is paid for this year with a TIF. Where's that money coming next year and the year after in perpetuity? How do we save that money? So these are the questions that I want to ask. I too would ask for your support in this caucus. The caucus is going to be one vote per town, and then one for the county commissioners as they sit, the four of them. So, I appreciate your time tonight. Congratulations on having wonderful participation, and nice to see you all. Thank you.
Number 4, discussion with EMA and RSU 74 for emergency shelter plan for Carrot Communities.
Unfortunately, I got a call from Mark Campbell on Monday indicating that he didn't realize until this week that he had a scheduling conflict. He had a subcommittee meeting that was also this evening, and asked to reschedule it to the meeting of November 25th. We don't have him here tonight to wrap that up, unfortunately.
Approved sewer abatements, number 5.
We have two from the third quarter billing. Both have one has a private septic, the other one has a private well, which is a little tricky, and I'm not sure, because normally we base consumption off of public water meter readings. So in a private well, I think that's why we had one category set up with an average, a basic rate for water. However, they have been out of state and his wife is deceased, and he will be coming up in the spring, but their building is closed down, and they have received in the past, I guess, just the basic $50 fee, where it has been sitting vacant. And that is Lawrence Baum and Diane Frost. So Lawrence was the one that called. He is still out of state and won't be back in Maine until next spring. And then Robert McCarty and Carol Denton. This is a repeat. We didn't bill it right in the second quarter, and unfortunately, I guess their account didn't get updated because she came in and she says, we still have private septic this quarter billing as well. Therefore, we need to grant an abatement for that account. And I did update the flat rate billing to reflect it, so that when we do the bills again in January, we won't be dealing with this abatement. So the two abatements that I'm recommending be approved this evening is a total of $157.40.
Nancy, that first one, you said you had a flat rate of $50. That's just for the hookup being there.
Right.
So is that what you're abating, is that $50?
They got billed $128.70. So I've asked him that they have $78.70, and he'll pay the $50.
And that's for water.
Yes, that's for sewer.
Sewer?
Yeah. So it's basically the stump fee. They're ready to service fee.
I make a motion. That they pay the,
Do we have a second?
Second.
How could they get paid, how could they get charged for more if they weren't even there? How could they get charged?
I'm not sure where in the system some meters might have gotten changed, but I think what happened in the second quarter, in the office, we got the water meter readings, and I think that some of the accounts were changed because they have town water. It was assumed that they should also receive consumption. Well, sometimes it could be that they have a private septic, so no, it's not going into the public sewer system, so therefore they pay just that basic ready-to-service fee. Should their private septic system fail, then at that time they would be obligated to connect. So that is the result of some of these, but the one that has a private well, I think an average bill with consumption on town water is roughly about 110 to 130-ish. So I think it was an average, and because there's no way to meter their water, we put them into that meter rate category. But because the building has been vacant and they have been out of state, I guess Tammy had done an adjustment, but then when I don't know how, this one shouldn't have had a water meter reading to be adjusted, but somehow it got converted. And I don't know how, so I've made a note on the file to temporarily charge them the ready-to-service fee, but in the spring to put it back to their regular usage.
I mean, you must have other people that.
There probably
They have
are.
their own water, but not, yeah.
There probably are a few like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Good, so we have a motion, it's been seconded. Discussion, and all in favor? All opposed? So moved, 4-0. Set budget schedule for 2026 budget. Start thinking about 2025 town report dedication.
Be good to start thinking about who we want to dedicate the town report to this coming year. And, if you have some suggestions and they're different people, I can always put it on a little ballot. You guys can vote and majority rules, but if we can come up with one common name to dedicate to, that would be great too. And then I was also trying to think about what we should put for a photo on the front of the town report. And I thought, since the fire station is completely done, and we got that through, maybe the new fire station up to North Anson would be worthy. So maybe keep that in mind, Stacy, and if you could get some good pictures, whether it be a picture you already have or a winter scene. Sometimes it's nice to have different scenes on, different seasons too, on the cover of the town report. So looking, just to help prepare so I can get the memo out to the department heads and then also charitable organizations that we fund. I think that we will want to sign the town meeting warrant on no later than January 27th, which means I think trying to back it up, I think we should vote on the warrant articles by the 13th of January. I'd like to try to get it somewhat into warrant articles to also meet with the advisory board in early January, that first or second week. So that means, I think, in the month of December, and I think this follows with last year's schedule too. I think we were mid to end of December starting to review with the department heads their budgets going line by line. So I'm just looking for some guidance on when to schedule that, and whether we should do a separate day from the meeting day, or whether you want to do like we did tonight, have an earlier workshop to meet with department heads to review a budget and then go into the regular meeting.
Like the workshop idea, so.
Yeah.
The same night of the board meeting, so,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree.
Does that work for all department heads? They're gonna need to know the earlier time, 5 o'clock.
I would hope so. Yeah. So I think maybe in that case, the two scheduled meetings in December, we should probably do a workshop the 9th and the 23rd, because I don't know that we'll get through the entire budget, and let alone capital, in one, I think it's gonna take a couple workshops, maybe even a third, so,
What was that first day?
the 9th. Artie, would you be available to meet like at 5 on a regular meeting day?
Unless we're getting a blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, blizzard, we may not be.
We won't be
That's
there.
right.
We'll make sure the roads are plowed so you can get
Okay. So, and you want to start at 5, or do you want to start a little earlier than that, 5 o'clock? Give us an hour.
Let's do it for the first one and set it at 5, and then
Okay, see how far we
the
get.
second one, we're going to determine at that point. Sorry.
All right. Well, I will get notice out to everybody then, trying to submit, start thinking about your budget and capital projects. I've received, speaking of capital projects, I did receive one quote for reval services. It came in a big box. I haven't opened it yet because I think it's due in by next week. So we'll put that on the next agenda to open the reval proposals, how many we get, and take that up.
Number 7, department heads.
Well, I got a proposal from Stevens Electric to fix the pump that went in pump station 1. That one of you folks need to take and sign. It's $2,964.62. It's got to have a new seal and a new electrical cord. There's some other things on it's got to have, but that's what it's going to cost to take and get it fixed so we can have a spare pump at that pump station 1 again.
What's the amount again?
It's up there.
2964, 62.
2964.62, so 2,900. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
And we got the little crane thing there that we took and bought so we can pull the pumps. We got it, just got it last week, we're getting a plate made for it. So we can, they get plugged up again, we can take and pull the pump. So that'll save us not having to have anyone do it. The pump hours are still holding good. The Madison Street drainage job, that's done, but I need to talk to you folks. Everything, we put it, the lay of the land, everything's back where it was, but since we've done it, and the dirt's all compacted and whatnot down through the trench, and there's no holes in the pipe, every time it rains, you got a duck pond down there. And the only way to get it fixed, we're gonna have to put a grate on top of the manhole that's there, bring the field up so the water will drain and go down in the... It was never a duck pond before because it had plenty of roots to go down in the ground and get away, but now we don't have that. So next year, next summer, why, we ought to take and haul some material in there, some dirty fill, loamy stuff that's gonna grow grass and get it brought up so the water will drain. It's gonna cause a expense because we're gonna have to make sure we keep that manhole and the other one down below it, the dirt sucked out of it, so it just doesn't plug the pipe back up. But it would be, I would suggest that we take and do it just so we don't have to deal with that duck pond, because the landowners there, they're not gonna be able to use that. I mean, since we started getting rain, since Brian finished it, why, the water hasn't drained all out the field. It just sits there. So, that's something that need to, okay from you guys to go ahead and do next year.
Do you know
I
what the
get-
cost is gonna be?
No. I'll go around the water line and do some measuring and get some figures and, so I have it for budget season. But I just want to make everybody aware of it, that the water is receding, and as dry as the ground was after the first rainstorm, it should have receded and gone down in, but it hasn't. Yeah. This is the
Here,
picture.
I've got 2 more sets.
I haven't ignored you folks. I've been watching it, but I wanted to bring it to the board's attention and let them know that.
So somebody here's the owner of this duck pond?
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
You put ducks in it. Maybe
I don't want to.
maybe fish.
No.
You'll have shorefront property now.
Yeah. Not waterfront, but shore, yeah.
Right.
There's just 3 sets
Take a lot
there.
of fill on it.
what's that?
It's gonna take a lot of fill.
Now, it's only about 8 inches deep. It's just a big area is all, so. But it's something that we really ought to take and do because,
So there was trees there before, so we take it out with
nope, all it was just grass.
grass.
But there was
Old set.
holes in the field where the water made its channel down through, and now they can't get down through there no more.
Okay.
So.
Good.
And we put the lay of the land is back the way it was. So, when it first happened, why, I took and started looking at different options. And you can't build it up and drain the water to the other side of the field because you're gonna have it over there. So, we might as well just deal with it with the manhole that's there and put a catch basin cover on it and take care of the problem.
Unless she wants it.
Can we speak on that now or wait till the public portion?
Before we wait.
Okay.
Thank you.
We put some gravel on the roads, and we got some more gravel to put on the roads. We did some brush cutting. We've done 6 tar roads, about 15 miles or so. I haven't got it all measured up yet. And there's some of the places we're gonna go back with the limb saw, and other places with a chainsaw, because you couldn't grind them right to the ground, some of the trees, so that's gonna get cleaned up. And we fluid filmed a couple of the trucks today, the frames on them, and we're gonna do that. Hopefully, we'll be able to get them done before we have to start using them on the road. So. Then I drafted up a letter today that, for me and the select board, and it's about the twitching of wood on dirt roads and whatnot. And, it's gone on, goes on, so I'd like to have, I'll give it to you folks, you can look at it and have Nancy do the typing, because, one of the girls in the office, then they can read it better. It's just something, a tool that we can have, so when it happens again, they can take a letter, they can sign it, all of our signatures will be on it, and whoever's here after us can have a paper and get it signed. And then if there's damages or anything pertaining to what got done, the landowner or the woodcutter / woodcutter can pay the bill for getting it fixed. Because the amount of money that we put into our roads in the last 3 years, I don't appreciate seeing twitching up and down the dirt road. So, I'll bring it up. You guys can take a look at it, but it's just, I just want to bring it to your attention so that either you can say yay or nay
Where are they twitching?
on dirt roads.
What roads?
I'm not gonna name any specific road right now. Dirt roads.
Dirt roads.
They haven't used the tar road yet.
Who would do that?
No names, nope. I think that's the last thing we got for business, is that letter right there. And with you folks' approval, I'll talk to the girls in the office and get it typed up, and when we have an issue, I'll be glad to sign it and get you folks to sign it and get them to sign it.
So you're ready for winter?
Yep, trucks are all ready, got a little sand pile in the dooryard, plows are all ready to go on, sanders are all working, so.
Alright.
Yeah, the water tanks are all on the trucks, the leaf blower, leaf sucker, not blower. That's still in the truck, we're gonna go around one more time tomorrow, and that's it. As long as it don't snow and rain too hard, we'll get picked up what's up there. Yeah, we can take care of it plowing the wings, so.
Good. Any other questions? Chief?
Open house we did on October 31st. Not sure we got really a head count. There was probably a good couple dozen people that come strolling through. That same night, we had 50 trick-or-treaters come through. It's quite a drastic drop in that. Usually we have anywhere from 70 to 80 something, so I think the functions they have up at the schools where the kids go around up there and make one big hall is pretty much kiboshed that, so we've talked about at the meeting that probably won't be doing that anymore just because safety reasons. They do it for safety reasons, safety for the kids, so. Fine Line was here today, finished crack sealing the south station, so that's all done. Like I said earlier, engine 84 needs a new air tank, if not 3, because I know there's probably 3 on that truck, and it's got some rust up underneath there, so once he looks at the first one that's actually leaking, he's gonna look at the other ones and make it one-time deal. If they need it, we'll have them all replaced. Talk to him about when that truck is there, we're gonna have the oil changed, general maintenance on that, fuel filters, we're gonna start cycling the trucks, all to do that, get them done. I talked to Lance Arsenault today. He did run a test on that side, the north side wall of the station. He did find on the very end outlet towards the road by the entry door, there was quite a bit of water in that outlet. So we took it all apart, dried it out as much as you can, put it all back together and resealed it, and that was last week, and as far as knock on wood, we've had no other issues with that one wall kicking out, so. Which is important because that actually runs the air compressor to keep all the trucks aired up and ready to go.
Is that inside or outside?
Outside.
It just wasn't sealed well.
Well, he could see where water was probably coming in, and also remember last year, that's where all the snow and stuff had slid off from the roof on that side, and it got up over the outlets. But he says it could be just from a certain wind, rain running on the side of the building. He says he could see where it was running in, so. I did talk to Lance about refurbishing the quote on the generator, so we can be ready at the end of the year. Otherwise than that, I haven't heard anything from Lucas Striping. He did call me last week, said he'd be up this week to meet up with me, said he'd give me a call. I haven't heard anything from him yet. So striping the parking lot, I might wait until next spring, late spring to do that. Otherwise than that, that's about all I got.
Questions, Chief?
Back then, paint would go up even more.
And post testing, he's gonna try to be up on the weekend to do it, to get us done, so. We'll get that figure when I'm done. And I'll have to stay on top of them, I'm getting the invoices in soon, so. Cause I just got the invoices today from where they did the pump service and maintenance on the trucks from a week and a half ago.
Are all the cameras all in up there and everything?
I remember all coming, I met up with Matt to set up the app on a laptop. Farther than Nancy has it on her phone.
Now on my computer.
Now on your computer.
Yep. Jeff helped me today to get it. It's a different app that goes on my laptop, so we got that working, and I know what to download, and so I think we can make that happen on your laptop too.
Yep.
Good. Thank you. Nancy?
Just a couple of things tonight. We did have an incident, actually on election day, where the power flickered off, and for whatever reason, as a result, our spare computer that we titled secretary, that's beside Maddie's station, wouldn't boot back up. So we reached out to BTS, and they were able to figure it out, and the culprit ended up being the USB port for the credit card swipe reader. So once we unplugged that and rebooted and blah, 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 we got it back. But that led me to perhaps we should have battery backups on all of our new equipment. I mean, we've got a sizable investment there. I did look in my budget. I asked Matt Rice to his thoughts on it. He gave me a quote, 3 for the town office, 1 for the north station, 1 for the south station, and 1 battery backup for a highway. At a total, so 6 of them at a total cost of $480. So I'm thinking of signing that contract. I think that's a reasonable cost to protect our new equipment, and is worth proceeding and getting those battery backups. And I'm assuming that they'll suppress surges as well, correct?
They will.
Yeah, yeah. So just further protection,
No, we're not.
cheap insurance. As I reported earlier, I submitted to the county for that matching grant for the railroad ties for highway. Fingers crossed, it's approved, but time will tell. I did talk to the town's attorney at Bernstein Sugar that's been assigned for the Vials case, and they do now have a listing of all the heirs of the late Glenn Vials, and at this time, he thinks that we should probably schedule a Zoom meeting to see where to go from here. And with the pending litigation that Tammy had started, was wrapping up last November. So I wondered if you would be open to having a scheduling a meeting, an executive session to meet with legal counsel to decide how to best move forward with the collection of the rest of the restitution that's owed the town.
Do you have a date?
No. I wanted to make sure you were willing to meet with him. He said, run it by your board, but he said, I think we're at a crossroads and you have options to move forward. And I think you ought to hear it from the town attorney directly, and that way, as questions arise, I think it's better than me trying to be a middleman. I think we all should sit down with legal. So if you're open to that, maybe in the next couple of weeks, you know, if you have any commitments that aren't good, I'd be interested in knowing that. So that would help me to know what days to steer clear of and see if any of those dates work for Jim.
I meant to ask you earlier, Nancy, did we ever get the information we needed from computer improvements for the cameras here at the,
I have that, so actually, Matt's here tonight, I can give it to him.
okay. That will be put on our laptops as well.
Oh, I don't, that's a Matt question. I don't know.
The other thing I meant to mention was when I was talking to Lance Arsenault today, he's gonna be running a wire from in the conduit into the building to out where we're gonna have our Christmas tree for this year to plug our lights into, so that was the initial reason why I pretty much called him to get that going. And that, I was gonna have him, where we had the internet cable from outside on the pole on the sidewalk where it goes down into conduit underneath the ground. He's gonna try to cap that because every time it rains, snows, the water goes into that piece of pipe. And I mentioned it to him last year when I was helping the dude run the wire down into that. We were pushing water and ice up through as I was trying to grab it on the other end, so. Hopefully with the dry season, it probably dried out a little bit, but I'm not sure, but he said he'll cap it for us while he's up there.
The only other thing that I had, and I looked on the town website, I didn't see it there, but nomination papers are going to be available quickly. I don't have, no, I think it's Wednesday, November 26th. That's a Wednesday. I believe that's when Kim calculated the date that papers are available for the March election. And I don't know if she's put together a listing yet of all of the offices, but yes. So Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the 26th, papers will become available. But I'll ask that she give that information to Madison so that it can go up on the website. And we'll see whose terms were. I think Jim and yours was, and then we'll have Arnold's vacancy. And I'm not sure what other offices, but we'll get that list together. And that's all I had.
Any questions for Nancy?
You're supportive of me getting the backups for the computers?
Need a motion?
No. I have it in my budget.
I have backup of all my electronics, and that little flash is just screws it right up.
Matt, do you need that signed? I'll just confirm with an email tomorrow. Just so it's in writing.
Selectmen's concerns. Public session. I don't know your name.
Here.
I should know your name. Our kids went to school together. But You wanted to address the
Yes, about,
issue.
I'm glad that Artie brought it up. I didn't know he was going to. But, yeah, something needs to be done. For 35 years, we've lived there and never had water issues at all until that pipe collapsed. The drain collapsed. So, I don't know who did the work, if it was the town or if it was contracted out.
No, it was a contractor area.
Yeah,
There was, the pipe that was in there, like, it was pretty, had a lot of holes in it, pretty rusted, so the water could get in it easily.
right, but it also probably had holes anyways, right? That type of drain has
No,
holes in it?
no, it was,
Perforated pipe.
no, it wasn't perforated.
Oh.
There was a catch basin out there.
There
There was a catch basin in the field.
Nope, all it was the old orange bird clay pipe. So. No, there was, holes out there in the field though that you fall into, you go to your waist, where the water was getting down into the pipe that was down there. So, then the, manholes, catch basins that was out there, why, there wasn't cement type around the pipes, so the water could get in and out of manholes too. So, now it's, everything's cemented and everything's tight, and that's why, the water's the way it is, just because it has no place to go, and it ain't going into the ground. You'd think it would, it's nothing but
I
sand.
know, I don't understand that, why it doesn't, in the ground, it's dry as it is. Yeah,
But next spring, as soon as it dries out,
Yep.
we'll, if the board's okay, we'll take and, get it so the water drains.
Might be able to have a skating rink.
what's that?
Might be able to have a skating rink.
My neighbor said
I'm
that.
sorry, I know it's a serious thing, but, it can't be done until, right, so
Right,
make use of it.
but it just sounds like an awful lot to build that up. It wouldn't be less expensive to put some kind of perforated drain
Well, they
pipe?
will be putting drain, there is drain
Yeah, it's gonna,
for it. But
right,
It's still gonna have to be.
we gotta build it up so it can get into, you see,
The manhole.
the manhole, because there's no holes in the manhole, so we gotta put a cover on the top that's got holes in it, but we gotta lift the dirt up to get the water to go into it, because the, everything's all solid.
So they didn't put the pipe back the level it was before then?
The pipe?
Yeah.
Yep, same grade. Yeah, because the water is backing up on the other side of the road, there's nothing
Right.
sitting there.
So now you have water on the other side of the road.
Right.
Anyone else? Public session? Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up some concerns about our current ACO. I've had my own dealings with him, not so good. That's done and over with. We seem to have a growing problem of people having issues with dogs at large, putting in calls for assistance, and they don't seem to be getting any. My own issue that I had, it went on for 6 years. We got little to no assistance out of it. It ended up costing us money in court. We have people talking about they're having dogs on their own property that are getting attacked by dogs at large. One particular person has made 5 calls to try to get the situation addressed and has had no luck. I don't see why we're paying an ACO that is doing nothing.
He marks the service as rendered when he in fact doesn't call, doesn't show, doesn't do nothing. And it's put on the citizens of this town to put up with the destructive behavior of someone else's dog that's not controlled. Right from dogs trying to attack people to dogs killing other people's animals. This particular person, their dog was attacked by another person's dog. We also know somebody else who had a husky that was at their house laying in their doghouse, and 2 pit bulls went over and killed that husky that was on his own property. These people also have a 3-year-old child that frequents their house. So this is a safety issue, and people need to wake up before something happens. We have let you guys know, and let you guys know, and let you guys know something needs to get done.
On that incident with that dog, was the sheriff called, the deputies?
They called the call center
Yeah,
and nothing was done at all.
because every time a call is made to the call center, the first thing they do is contact the ACO. In our case, we had such little help from the ACO, we actually had to start demanding that a sheriff deputy show up.
We lost thousands of dollars in livestock. And there was literally a feather trail going right from our fenced-in area right to the neighbor's house. I mean, you cannot deny that. No coyote's gonna bring lunch to your neighbor's house, just saying. Not to mention, the dogs were coming at our house around the clock, daylight too. We would see and identify definitely. Plus, we had very close-up photos of these dogs right next to our fencing. In our property, we have mostly fields. We have 25 acres of mostly fields, big fields. So why are we going on another year with the same guy that's done nothing for 6 years? It's not just us. It's, you know, these dogs at large could easily kill an elder. Break one hip, it's a live or die deal. There's no in between. I worked 20 years in the healthcare field. I know the consequence of a broken hip. Children should not be attacked by these dogs. There's no excuse. We have 9 dogs. You guys do not have our 9 dogs. You take the responsibility on, you take it seriously, or you don't do it. And this, no consequence. There was 0 summons written for any of the pictures that we had. And when I say we had pictures, they were pretty near kissing the cameras. I'm not even kidding.
This particular person has video of a neighbor's dog on their property. Nothing's getting done.
Our family members had dogs coming at us 5 separate times. One of them was my 80-some-odd-year-old disabled father. No need of it. This needs to be addressed.
We will talk, you know.
Well, I just hope people take it seriously, because we've talked to town management 3 times. We've talked to the sheriff's department, we've had to call the game wardens in because dogs were chasing deer on our property. This is ridiculous. You know, you own a dog, you have a responsibility, or you don't own a dog. Get a stuffed animal, I don't care. There's no excuse. And I'm getting tired of people saying, we'll keep a watchful eye on it. Well, it seems like a blind eye must be happening because nothing's changing. You know, we've said our piece, we walked away, but yet we see the same things happening to other people in our community. How long? You know, before someone seriously gets hurt from these dogs.
Agree. Sorry to endure that, but yeah, it's gotta be addressed.
Well, like she has said, in our situation is done and over with. But we're not gonna sit by and let other people go through the same thing all over again. Our situation went on for 6 years. How many other people have to have a situation go on for months, years? I mean, situations like this can get dangerous. They can get really dangerous and somebody could get hurt.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for listening.
It'll be more than listening.
What's that?
It'll be more than listening, I promise.
Okay.
We
What we
appreciate
appreciate.
I made the promise myself, it'll be more than listening.
it. Thank you.
Maine does have a leash law.
Yes, and that's what we keep bringing up.
Yeah.
That's what we keep bringing up, and I just don't,
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's just posted on the Anson page about either new or standing ordinances on leash laws and allowing animals to run at large. And we're still having issues like this.
Anything else? Yes.
I'm kind of curious
curious about the direction of the admin assistant position that was posted a while ago. I haven't heard anything in the meetings. I know that when I called about it a few weeks back, I was told that last meeting it was going to be discussed, but it was never on the agenda. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
We've received a total of 4 applications. I need to get them to you. None of the applicants have any current municipal experience. I know I posted it that it would remain open until filled. I can share with you the applications that we've received and see if any of those are people that you might be interested in interviewing, or if we should refresh that page and put it back out for another blast. I'm just not seeing the applications that I thought we would get.
To go along with that, when you first put that out, there was nothing on the page stating that you wanted people with municipal experience. So with that, now you're changing the requirements?
No, it's not a requirement. It was just that individuals with municipal experience was helpful and encouraged. And I think that was in the ad. Not that it's required, but it helps to know if they have been in a public setting, have dealt with other state agencies, are familiar, with the work that's involved in the town office. And not that training someone fresh isn't a bad thing, because every town does things a little different. And
Well, we already have one of the workers in the office that has absolutely no experience prior to her being in there now. None, and still is, after 2 years, barely capable of doing a lot of the work.
I can't comment. You're talking an employee, can't comment.
That's just an observation from going into the office and having to get things done. So, I mean,
So you probably ought to put it out again. Just refresh it.
Do a refresher.
but what about those 4 people that have already applied? Is that a
Because they haven't even received email notification of any communication at all.
Well, that happens all over the place. Just because you apply for a job doesn't mean that you're gonna get a notification from anybody. So that's normal.
I did acknowledge receipt of an application, so I wanted every applicant to know that I did get it. And I was hoping that we would have a few to interview. There may be a couple that we might want to consider, I don't know. Yeah, I would have really preferred to have a bigger pool to select from.
So, anything else?
I'll put that out again.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one question. What did the game warden say to these dogs that were running loose? How far did they pursue?
The issue with law enforcement, when it comes to the sheriff's department with game wardens, they're demanding a higher level of proof. And that's why we started getting the game cameras and taking the pictures. So when you have the pictures and everything, when we'd gotten the photographic and video evidence, by that time we was already into a pretty bad situation. We had presented the evidence to both the ACOs at the time. I understand there's only one now. We presented the evidence to both of them, nothing was done, and then we ended up in the situation we did where I had to shoot the neighbor's dog.
But what about the game wardens?
Yeah.
The game wardens?
Yeah, what
The game wardens, the first picture I got was a picture of the dog in one frame and the deer, actually, I'm sorry, it was the deer in one frame and the dog in the next frame. And because it wasn't in the same frame, he said it's not good enough evidence, he couldn't do anything with it. So that's why we ended up purchasing quite a few cameras to cover our property.
The next one we got though did show the dog running from a livestock area, running right to the deer. And honestly, I don't think they ever got back to us.
And they never got back to us on that.
They called and talked to me and I sent the video, but they never told us
Anytime
what
we
happened out of it.
Anytime we've dealt with law enforcement and given them evidence and talked to them, we could notice from the actions of our neighbor that something had been said to them. Anytime we dealt with the ACO, we never got that. And I in fact know that in the 6 years, he might have written one summons. And I'm not real 100% sure on that.
The only summons that was shown to me was from the agricultural department, not Amber. Just saying.
Yep.
And as far as that's concerned, Andrew is not a truthful person, and the body cam of the sheriff that wrote the report proved it in court that he was lying. They wrote a fraudulent report about our whole situation, and all it took was for me to have our lawyer pull the video off the body cam of the sheriff, and when they looked at it, they knew their story was BS. So if they had the audacity to BS there, what are they telling this other law enforcement? Because you know they must talk back and forth. Just saying.
Anything else? Good. Number 10.
The motion to adjourn.
The motion seconded. All in favor? All opposed?